Actually, before we do this, can we change location? This place feels kinda sad.
And this isn't?
It's perfect! This was kind of boring there. Let's get something relevant up there. Like, like Mass Effect or Bioshock or Minecraft Minecraft works too. Right, so let's get started. Let's start talking about video games as arts. This bizarre contraption describes art as human creative skill or its application, or work exhibiting this. Whereas this thing, I don't know what it is, describes art as the creation of works of beauty or other special significance. Jesus. But despite these two definitions having very small differences, I think we can agree that we can spot a similarity. The creation of works to express beauty or significance. Well, by this definition, I mean, it's pretty vague. Even a YouTube poop is art, because even that involves human creativity being applied to create comedy out of already existing video and audio. Hell, even this picture of a sandwich with a face on it could be considered art, because you could make the argument that the addition of a face required creative skill on my part, was a significant decision, and it gives the picture significance in indicating that this sandwich has a personality.
Oh, wait just a minute. Just because some paper in between two pieces of wood says all that doesn't mean that all video games should be treated with respect. Do you seriously mean to tell me that this...
I'm right here to stay when I want to pray. I'll be right in my prime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Just think about me, I'm as free as any daughter. I do what I like, just when I like, and how I love it. I'm right here to say when I'm old and grey, I'll be right in my prime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
is art?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be variety, then there's going to be a Star Wars for every battlefield on Earth.
So that justifies the violent rampages that have been committed by people who are reportedly obsessed with video games?
Okay, let me put it this way. Yes, it is a cause for concern that the people behind Columbine and the Dark Knight Rises shootings were apparently way too much into video games. That is a cause for concern, but these are complex human beings we're talking about. They're people, okay, not robots. Even if this video were to go on for hours and hours and hours, the best I could do would be to make educated guesses. The best I could do is disprove or reinforce specific examples, not the matter as a whole. That doesn't mean I'm not going to try.
So what, you're going to make that stupid argument that the National Rifle Association makes? Guns don't kill people, people do.
Well, yes. There's a theorist called Stuart Hall that created the audience readings theory. Now, he theorized that there were 3 ways in which you can interpret a media text. The first, preferred reading, which means you take the media text precisely as it was intended. You accept the ideology without any kind of interference whatsoever. Second is negotiated reading. Negotiated reading dictates that you take the preferred reading and color it with your own life experiences. For example, if you're supposed to sympathize with a Nazi and maybe you were previously a Nazi or something like that, you might think, well, I hate Jews as much as the next guy, but I don't really like this guy's methods, or something like that. The third then is the oppositional reading, in which you completely reject or completely misinterpret the text's ideology. You say, screw that guy, I'm going home.
What the hell does this have to do with anything?
It means that the subsequent actions that the people take upon consuming a media text are their own fault. For the most part, I mean, specific examples. Like, everybody is different, and there may be some kind of secret variable that we don't know about when it comes to these violent things. But I guess my point is this. When you get run over, you don't blame the car.
Does that mean everybody should be trusted with a gun?
Absolutely not. Much like you don't give a Desert Eagle to a 5-year-old, you don't show clips of Manhunt to a 5-year-old either. Hell, at least the theory that children imitate what they see is being supported by scientific studies like the Bobo doll experiment, wherein children are set to play in a room with lots of toys, and during this, a woman is set to savagely beat a Bobo doll, and then the children are made to leave. Then, the children are taken to another room with very enticing toys, and then, after 10 minutes of playing with them, are told that they are no longer allowed to play with them, and they were meant for other children, doing this to build the rage. Then, the children are taken to a third room, alone with the Bobo doll. And in this room with the Bobo doll are also a selection of various violent equipment, such as toy hammers. Then, the scientists just watch them fly. These scientific studies showing that children do imitate what they see are the exact same reason you don't show little Timmy this!
Juices! Obey! Hurry now! Grab Roy's genetic key!
So, even you acknowledge that playing violent video games can cause people to respond violently?
Depending on the reactions of the spectators, not the material.
So, what use are they?
Well, in their book Glued to Games, authors Scott Rigby and Richard M. Ryan theorised that video games fulfill needs in much the same way that films do, according to the film world's uses and gratifications theory. The first of these needs that is fulfilled is autonomy. This is the feeling that you are making important decisions in a world that gives you feedback. This applies more to video games like Mass Effect, role-playing games that emphasise world building, character development, and narrative. Autonomy is like the feeling of becoming one with the game world, being transported to it, kind of like the holodeck in Star Trek, as James Newman says in his very unhelpfully titled book Video Games, with an equally unhelpful cover. Now, autonomy is something I love talking about because video games that explore autonomy already exist. They show us the opposite of autonomy. They bring startling insight to this concept by showing you that you make no meaningful decisions in these games, that you have no power whatsoever. Now, the two games that are most known for doing this to date are the Stanley Parable and BioShock. Now, the Stanley Parable focuses more on the kind of light-hearted Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy sort of feeling. It's very trippy, very mind-bending. BioShock, however, is now my personal favourite. It focuses more on a spooky, Orwellian, steampunky horror atmosphere, and honestly I think it's a bit more clever. Stanley Parable very much is overt about this video game symbolism and this exploration of autonomy, whereas Bioshock, you could play the whole game and never know it had anything to do with autonomy. And plus it's frankly more quotable.
In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys.
The second of these needs that are fulfilled by video games is competence, the feeling of mastery, the feeling of overcoming obstacles, the feeling of becoming better. And really, this feeling of overcoming obstacles is part and parcel of any given narrative. But in video games, it's more about acing all the episodes of Azura's Wrath, or finally getting that last platinum medal of Bayonetta. It's that feeling of becoming a pro. And last but not least, relatedness. Relatedness. It is the need to interact socially within gaming. Now, relatedness is fulfilled almost entirely by online media. By online gaming, that is. MMORPGs such as World of Warcraft and online shooters such as Team Fortress 2. Games that emphasize teamwork and cooperation, communication. Games that make you feel like you're working as part of a team, working with others to accomplish a common goal. I think this demonstrates that whether you believe that video games are an art form or not, they are needed. They fulfill needs, thus they are needed. Just as much as films, comic books, music, anything of the like. Really, there's no reason for video games not to be as taken seriously as all the others. Even by just what they do. Fulfilling needs. Video games can be special. Something can be special to anybody. A chair can be special to you if it belonged to someone you loved. A door can be special to you if it blocked out the cold during the night. So, why not video games? At least consider that for now. And you consider it too. What do you say, buddy? We starting to understand each other a bit more?
No.
Fine, I give up. See, Butters, I can't believe after all that you... Who are you, and how did you get in here? Oh, right, that. please don't kill me. I can give you money. I can give you lots of money, like shiny gold coins and... So you're... You? From the future? Yes. Okay. And what do you want? Well, apparently I gotta stop you from finishing the video. Why? I don't know, some guy with frilly hair told me that if I didn't, it would cause some kind of collapse in the space kind of continuum and completely destroy the cosmos, and it was really boring. Personally, I just kind of prefer it if we could be bros.
you want to be bros.
Yeah, man, I want to be bros.